Okay, my internet disconnected mid-stream, so the stream automatically started up again. But internet disconnected. Project and Funny Monkey, people who were in the chat in the VC with me, are no longer here. On a plus side, I had time to prepare some coffee for myself, so I will be having coffee for myself shortly. But alternatively, I am by myself. Let me go and change the layout of the stream. Now it's just me. There I am in the corner. I'll even maximize it. Here I am. If you've made it this far into the show and you're wondering why I chose that as my profile picture, it's because one, I think it's cute. Also two, uh, the character has a ear picker, and I also think that's cute. And three is because I wish that were me, actually. Project, you just made it back.
Doesn't matter anymore.
I'm sorry for disconnecting. It was out of my control. How did you and Funny Monkey settle it? Is he coming back or does he have to go to bed?
He's still here.
Okay, I'm gonna ping him then. Funny Monkey. Oh whoa.
The actual stream ended.
Yeah, the stream restarted actually. I believe so.
Hey, what the? Wait, what the fuck?
What? What?
Here doesn't seem like it actually restarted.
Okay, let me check my YouTube channel then.
Alright. Alright. Now it does say that it restarted.
Mm-hmm.
Loop and splurgy.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. What was the last thing you guys heard me say, by the way?
I have no idea.
I'm going to assume that I was in the middle of describing the illustration, right? Right?
Alright, but let's wait until fucking Funny Monkey is back.
I guess in the meantime, well, I suppose there is no meantime. Except Greenwich meantime.
In the meantime,
It is a nice illustration, I'll say that. It really makes me want to be in that moment. I think this is like if you had to describe something that I even thought of as a kid, just wanting to take everything with me. And knowing that I couldn't do that at the same time. It says on Discord that I've disconnected from VC, so I'm just gonna wait a second. until Project can hear me again.
That.
Okay, is everything working?
Is your internet that fucked?
I don't know what that was, but I think it was just specific to Discord. I'm still streaming. Okay, I'll share my screen so Funny Monkey can follow me with the book. Do you remember when I last left off, Funny Monkey?
Let's after this page, because this is the page where we stopped.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Okay, so whose turn is it to read?
Mine.
Yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yours.
Everyone else was talking to everybody else. Nobody said anything to Wanda, but there she was, a part of the crowd. The girls closed in a tighter circle around Cecil, still talking all at once and admiring her, and Wanda somehow enveloped in the group. Nobody talked to Wanda, but nobody even thought about her being there. Maybe, thought Maddie, remembering what had happened next. Maybe she figured all she'll have to do was say something and she'd really be one of the girls. And this would be an easy thing to do, because all they were doing was talking about dresses. Maddie was standing next to Peggy. Wanda was standing next to Peggy on the other side.
All of a sudden,
The three girls are all together, that's what.
all of a sudden, Wanda impulsively touched Peggy's arm and said something. Her light blue eyes were shining, and she looked excited like the rest of the girls. "What?" asked Peggy, for Wanda had spoken very softly.
Oh no!
It's so clean like a money machine.
I'm gonna reload the page. Okay, there it is. Wanda hesitated a moment, and then she repeated her words faintly, firmly. I got 100 dresses at home. That's what I thought you said. 100 dresses? 100. Peggy's voice raised itself higher and higher. Hey kids, she yelled. This girl's got 100 dresses. Silence greeted this, and the crowd, which had centered around Cecil and her new finery, now centered curiously around Wanda and Peggy. The girls eyed Wanda, first incredulously, then suspiciously. 100 dresses? They said. Nobody could have 100 dresses. I have so. Wanda has 100 dresses. What are they then? In my closet. Where are they? He says. Not what are they?
My closet.
Hold on, Funny Monkey. I have to get
by the way,
my coffee.
and
What?
by the way, on the stream, every time I touch the microphone, it sounds like this fucking bass, this
Coffee.
bass hit that just. By the way, on this, I'm not sure it's gonna sound good to the people listening. So if that happens, sorry.
Okay. I'll be right back. I'm getting my coffee.
Nice. It's a 2,000 kilobytes per second. And now it's lowered to 1,000 kilobytes.
Okay. Funny Monkey, go ahead. I'm ready.
In my closet. Oh, you don't wear them to school? No, for parties. Oh, you mean you don't, blah. Oh, you mean you don't have any everyday dresses? Yes, I have all kinds of dresses. Why don't you wear them to school? For a moment, Wanda was silent about this. Her lips drew together.
Huh?
She, then she repeated stolidly, as though it were a lesson learned in school. 100 of them, all lined up in my closet. Oh, I see, said Peggy, talking like a grown-up person. The child has 100 dresses, but she wouldn't wear them to school. Perhaps she's worried of getting ink or chalk on them. When, with this, everybody fell to laughing and talking once. Wanda looked stolidly at them,
Mhm.
pursing her lips
Together.
together, wrinkling her forehead up so that the gray toboggan slipped way down to her brow. Suddenly, from down the street, the school was the school
Gong.
gong rang its first warning.
Mhm. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, hurry. Oh, come on, hurry. Something like that. Said Maddie. We'll be relieved. No. Oh, come on, hurry, said Maddie, relieved. We'll be late. Goodbye, Wanda, said Peggy. Your 100 dresses sound beautiful. More shouts of laughter greeted this, and off the girls ran, laughing and talking, and forgetting Wanda and her 100 dresses. Forgetting until tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, when Peggy, seeing her coming to school, will remember, and ask her about the 100 dresses. For now, Peggy seemed to think a day was lost if she had not had some fun with Wanda, winning the approving laughter of the girls. Peggy is this girl. Peggy is
Yeah.
and that's Maddie right there. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, that was the way it all begun. The game of 100 dresses. It all happened so suddenly and unexpectedly, with everyone falling in. Right that right with everybody falling right in. That even if you felt comfortable as Maddie, had there been had there wasn't anything you could do as Maddie had, there wasn't anything you could do about it. Maddie waged her head up and down. She repeated herself. That was the way it began. That day, that bright blue day, she wrapped up her shavings and went to the front of the room, empty them, to empty them in the teacher's basket.
The contest. Funny monkey. Funny monkey.
Huh?
Would
Yeah.
you rather me read instead, so you don't have to have over?
Smart enough to what?
Have over.
Hmm. Like, do you want to read the contest page?
The contest chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll try to do that for now. And you try your best to pay attention, okay?
I think that's doing like each page. I think that's I think I prefer that.
You prefer that instead of each chapter.
Yes.
Okay. Now today, even though she and Peggy had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not made fun of Wanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. 8 times 8? Let's see. Nothing she could do about making fun of Wanda.
She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note because she knew she'd never have to have the courage to speak out to Peggy, to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask where she got the dress she had on, and Maggie would have to say that it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to dis- disguise with new trimmings so that no one in room 13 would recognize it. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. Oh well. Maddie ran her hand through her short blonde hair as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away.
What difference did it make? Slowly, Maddie tore the note she had started into bits. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best linked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Boggins Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. Nobody in the room thought about Wanda at all, except for when it was her turn to stand up for oral readings. Then they all hoped she would hurry up and finish and sit down, because it took her forever to read a paragraph. Sometimes she stood up and just looked at her book and couldn't, or wouldn't, read at all. The teacher tried to help her, but she'd just stand there until the teacher told her to sit down. Was she dumb or what? There she is.
Yeah. Maybe she was just timid. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, a pale blue one with craze-colored trimmings, and she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with red sash. You'd look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls said in pretended admiration. Thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and color contest for the girls. This contest consisted of designing dresses for boys, of designing more motorboats. Oh wait, this contest consisted of designing dresses and for boys of designing motorboats. Probably Peggy would win the girls medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that's what everybody thought. You should see the way she could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head. You could almost tell who it was.
Oh, Maddie. Oh, 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 Maddie did not. Let me see. Oh, Maddie did not hope Peggy would win. Hope so. She was sure Peggy would win. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners. Then they'd know. Thoughts of Wanda sank further and further from Maddie's mind, and by the time the history lesson began, she'd forgotten all about her. And this is Wanda, and this is Peggy, and that's Maddie, I assume. 3 girls.
Yes. Okay. Like, yes, talking about her dress.
Yeah.
The 100 dresses. Oh, we're halfway done with the book.
I think this is the final chapter, I believe. I'm not sure. Let me check.
Final chapter is half of the book?
Maybe. No. 100 dresses up on Boggins and the letter. But we are halfway. The spoilers! Don't look! Funny Monkey, don't look!
Okay.
Don't look! Okay.
Dresses. The next day, it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to the school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street, the street that was far away under the railroad tracks. Up the hill led to Boggins Heights. Anyway, they weren't taking chances of being late today, because today was important.
Do you think Miss Mason will surely announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. Oh, I hope so, the minute we get in, said Maddie, and added, Of course you'll win, Peg. Hope so? Said Peggy eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. There were drawings all over the room, and on every ledge and every windowsill, tacked to the tops of the blackboards, spread all over the bird charts, dazzling colors and brilliant lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of wrapping paper. There must have been 100 of them all lined up. 100? 100? Funny Monkey said 100. There was 100 of them. These must be the drawings for the contest.
Okay.
These are all the dresses.
Yeah.
That's Maddie and that's Peggy. And that's some boy.
Yes.
I'm just taking a moment to look at the scene.
Yeah. It's a really great illustration.
Fuck's sake.
Are you is your internet still wonky, or are you good, Project?
It's kind of getting fucked. It's getting fucked.
Accidentally joined the Lounge channel.
Lounge? Is that how you say it?
Well, how do you say it?
Wow.
Lounge.
That was pretty French of you. Are you a Frenchman?
I am not French. I am Hispanic.
Lounge.
So if I become mod in the Lewis server, I would need mod via Hispanic version.
Okay. Let's see. It cuts off in the middle of a sentence too, you know? They, and then bam. Were. They were. These must be for the contest. They were. There. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly.
Wait, that's my turn.
Go ahead. I just wanted to say that one.
Alright, everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Beggles had won for the boys. She said in his design of the outboard monitor boat was on exposition in room 12, along with the sketches by all the other boys. As for the girls, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most, one girl and room 13 should be very proud of her. This one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different, all beautiful, and all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of her drawings is worthy of winning the prize. I am happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her.
Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor and put their fingers in their mouths and whistle. Stamp. Stomp?
Ah,
This is a very particular way of saying stomp. Stamp. Don't mind me, I'm just admiring the language.
Yes, of course.
fuck, it dropped all the way down to like 50 kilobytes per second. And as soon as I pointed it out, and as soon as he found out, it started. Oh, fuck. Now it's 0.
I'll go ahead.
Your
Um,
own way.
Hopefully your internet gets better, Project. Though they were not interested in the dresses. Maggie and Petty were among the first to reach the blackboard to look at the drawings. Look, Peg, whispered Maddie. That's the blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, said Peggy. And there's the green one. Boy, and I thought I could draw. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Miss Mason looking kinda thick. But
You gotta be fucking. He does that shit all the time. He's gotta do all that shit all the time in the Animaniacs video. You know?
Funny Monkey?
Yes?
Did you hear me say that? I don't think you did.
She looking kind of thick now. She. Do you want to have a screenshot of her?
Okay.
Hold on, let me take a screenshot of Miss Mason. I do like the way she looks. She looks very pretty.
All we need is beans for here to make 500 Weezer workers that are going home jokes.
Well, I believe this note is actually about a worker going home. Actually, this note is a notice. I think it's about Wanda. No, is it Wanda? Wanda Petrons? Yes. It's about Wanda. She went home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, she worked on the drawings and then she's going home. Did you know Funny Monkey? Funny Monkey, did you actually know that before? That the workers are going home?
No,
Huh?
I did not.
Well, I can't hear you. Your mic is a bit wonky.
No, I did not.
Well, you'll be glad
I
to know.
didn't.
You'll be glad to know that the workers are going home.
Alright.
But yeah, I'm forgetting her name. Miss Mason just received a note, and you can go ahead and continue. I'm sorry for that one. I apologize for my interruption. I just had to admire Miss Mason for a bit.
Mm-hmm. So, am I reading this one?
Yes.
Am I reading this one?
Yes. Yes.
And then she clapped her hands and said, "Afternoon, class. Everyone back to his seat. Everyone back to his seat." When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and
Feet.
quiet, Miss Mason said, "I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you." Miss Mason stood there a moment, and in the silence in the room grew tense and
Expectant.
expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately.
Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Wanda's father, was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to a big city. No more holler Pojak. Polak? No more holler Palak. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petronsky. And there's
So she's leaving.
she is. She is. That's Maddie and that's Peggy. That's some boy.
That's
So the workers are going home.
fuck's sake.
I mean, can you not tell that the workers are going home and he's literally sending him a note that they're leaving?
Every time you try to piss me off, you always try to rationalize things like, don't you know? Isn't this like?
I believe that's my way of rationalizing. Is my way of mitigating to not make you less upset. To make you less upset so that nobody has to fight. I think that's just the way I. That's the way I
do that.
Yeah, I do
love
that.
how you do that shit with fucking everything. Like someone could just be someone could just be talking pure Holocaust denial, and you'd be like, yeah, we don't exactly know it was 17 million.
Yeah, I think that sounds like something I might do. Funny Monkey. We've been
Yeah?
waiting. We've been waiting
Okay.
for you. Let's go.
A deep silence met the reading of the letter. Miss Mason took her glasses off, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked
And
at the
pushed them
class.
back like
When she spoke, her voice was
an
very
otaku
low. "I am sure
protagonist.
that none of my boys and girls in room 13 would purposefully and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his name happened to be a long, unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness, and I know that all of you feel the way I do, and this is a very unfortunate thing to have happen. Unfortunate and sad, both. I want you all to think about it. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could
Think
not
about
put
it.
her mind
Sad.
on her work. She had a very sick feeling at the bottom of her stomach.
I think recently I started watching Doctor Who again. Specific, huh?
I know Lord watches Doctor Who. Do you know Lord?
I'm
He was
familiar.
banned from the Lewis server for being too based
Based in what way?
because I don't know why, but Lewis banned him for, like, I guess being annoying, and then he unbanned him because we all kept spamming hashtag free my nigga Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to the Breaking Bad channel and spoiled something. And
Mm-hmm.
then Lewis said, "Hey, don't spoil that. A lot of people here haven't finished the show." And then he replies with like a gif of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man saying, "I missed the part where that's my problem." And then he got banned.
Of course, of course. And I suppose I see now why you think he's based.
Yeah.
It's
He's
kind
really funny. He
of
just like
like
spams gifs
Brad's
of
when I
emojis. It's
accidentally
awesome.
spoiled The Wire. You know, despite the fact that I haven't even watched The Wire.
But what I was saying, I started watching Doctor Who, specifically season two to season 7, and it doesn't happen often. But the main character, the Doctor, sometimes stresses the importance of childhood, the importance of
Hmm.
like it for me the most interesting thing and the funniest thing about Doctor Who is the ongoing uh joke, I would say, the ongoing narrative that the little things that kids would sometimes make believe are actually very real and very threatening. Um,
Like what?
like the monsters under your bed, the dust and the light, the dust and the light of the curtains. Um,
Mm,
the let's see,
How
the things in your closet,
many
the things that you're
seasons?
afraid of, stuff like that. What were you saying, Funny Monkey?
I'm gonna look up how many seasons are in Doctor Who.
Hmm. And I it's my feeling as a watcher.
38 seasons.
Well, there's the new Doctor Who and the old Doctor Who,
Which one are you watching?
the new one, the updated one.
Okay.
And it's my intuition as a Doctor Who watcher that the kind of problem that Maddie is facing right now with not knowing what to do would be something that the show would try to make sure that the audience does not trivialize. If you feel like this is something that doesn't matter, if you feel like this small feeling in the pit of her stomach or the things that these two kids are going through don't matter, then I think that the doctor would say something like, no, this is the most important thing in the world, or something like that, or the whole universe, perhaps, is the feeling in the pit of her stomach when she doesn't know what to do, or something like that. It's just that's what I'm
Hmm.
thinking right now. That's what's going through my
Yeah,
head.
didn't really think of that.
But yeah. That being said, Funny Monkey, what have you found?
Wait, what have I found?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, what do you mean?
You were searching something on the internet.
Yeah, I searched how many seasons were in Doctor Who, and it said like 38 or some crazy number.
Um, you know how the show works? Wait, are you familiar with the?
How-
What did you say? You didn't come up.
how- wait,
Half correct. What?
what?
What? Are you
I
familiar?
said I googled how many seasons were in Doctor Who, and it says like 38 or something.
Are you familiar with the main conceit of the show?
I am not.
The main conceit of the show is that the Doctor goes through life cycles, and when he dies, he regenerates. He gets reborn as a new person, and he's a
Like a
time
human
traveler,
jellyfish.
like a human jellyfish. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's something jellyfish can actually do.
Yeah, I'm
They can
familiar.
live forever because
They're able to revert to previous life cycle where their cells are more malleable, something like that. Basically, they have access to stem cells all the time. Uh, yes.
Okay.
But
All right.
Funny Monkey, did you understand at all what that whole Doctor Who tangent was about? Let me just try to see if my explanation was successful. Do you understand it?
How you compared the story of Doctor Who? Like, how one of the worst feelings is like the pit, the pit in your stomach, like a sick feeling at the bottom of her stomach, and that you mentioned that was also in Doctor Who.
No, I'm saying that this wasn't in Doctor Who. I'm just saying that this makes sense in the in the context of Doctor Who, that this is something that the book would mention, that it would emphasize, because it is, although it seems like something very small, it is in fact very important.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I sort of get that.
mhm. uh, True. Oh, this is your part. I read that. True.
Okay. Wait, are you gonna read that?
It's your turn.
Is it?
Yeah. Remember.
Okay. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong, and she had thought, supposing she was the one being made fun of, could put herself in Wanda's shoes, but she had not done as much as Peggy to make life miserable for Wanda by simply standing by and saying nothing. She had helped them. She had helped to make someone unhappy that she so unhappy that she had to move away from town. Goodness, wasn't there anything else she could do? If if only she could tell Wanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy.
Funny Monkey, I'm just now realizing that I made you read 2 pages in a row.
I know, I was saying that. I thought it was your turn.
I was sure that that wasn't the case, but I apologize. I'll just read this one then. The spread, I mean. He left off at. She turned and stole a glance at Peggy. But Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, she, Maddie, had to do something. She had to find Wanda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her, and they would tell Wanda she had won the contest, and that they thought she was smart, and the 100 dresses were beautiful. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said, with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea as Maddie had. um, Certainly something that only would fly in a children's book. Saying had. I do. Can I just say,
Hmm?
self-admittedly, I do this when I'm speaking in text. I like to repeat words in this particular way. Had. Um, I do that in my own speech. Um, but that's just an aside. Maddie glowed. Peggy was really all right. Just as she always thought. Peg was really all right. She was okay. Up on Boggins Heights. I'll read this for you since I made you read 2 pages. The two
Okay.
girls hurried out of the building, up the street towards Boggins Heights, the part of town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of November afternoon, drizzly, damp, and dismal. Well, at least, Peggy said gruffly, I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name.
I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyways. I thought she was too dumb. And gee, look at how she can draw. I I thought I could draw. Maddie could say nothing, and she hoped all she hoped was that they could find Wanda, just so that she'd be able to tell her they were sorry they had picked on her, just to say how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away, and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. Maddie fell to imagining a story in which she and Peggy assist assailed, I don't even know what that word is. Any bully who might
Assailed.
assailed any bully who might be going to pick on Wanda. Petronsky Onsky, somebody would yell, and Peggy would pounce on the guilty one. For a time, Maddie consoled herself with these thoughts, but as soon as they vanished again, she felt unhappy and wished everything could be nice the way it was before any of them had made fun of Wanda.
Assailed. If you can think of the word assailant, an assailant is like a criminal, or you know, if somebody steals your purse, that person is your assailant. You can understand?
Yeah.
I believe that's how the word works. I'm not entirely sure. A person who physically attacks another, that's an assailant.
Okay.
Burr. Burr? Burr. Brr. I can't do that. Can you say that? Can you say burr? As if you're cold?
Brr. Brr.
As if you're really, really cold.
Not right now, I don't think I can. Brr.
What about you, Project? Can you say brr? Brr. Project. Alan? Okay, yes. What is it, Project? Hey. Hello? Project? Um, Project is typing hey, hey, hey in the chat. Alan left the stream like Daisy
Wait.
left the world.
Is the stream going on right now?
It appears to be
On
happening.
YouTube? Oh, yeah.
Appears to be happening.
It's live. Let's see if there's anything in the chat.
There's nothing in the chat.
No. There's only one watching now,
Hello.
and it's me.
Oh, it's you. Hello, Funny Monkey.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Alan?
Thanks for watching the stream.
Hello. It's me. Yeah. Hello, Funny Monkey. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Alan? Thanks for watching the
We have concluded that nobody can indeed say brr correctly.
Yes.
How drab and cold and cheerless it was up on the heights. In the summertime, the woods, the sumac, and the ferns that grew along the brook on the side of the road were lush. And made this
Oh fuck! I thought that you had that something went wrong, and I thought you fucking lost connection.
I was wondering why you said hey, hey, hey.
I said hey. I said hey, 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 and then Alan left the stream like Daisy left the world.
What are you referencing exactly?
I was referencing Tim's podcast, Solving the Hard Questions, when they were talking about fucking Daisy's destruction.
We were asking you if you could say brr as if you're really cold. Can you do that for us?
Brr.
No, like you're really cold. You're just saying the word brr.
Brr. Brr. I don't know. Brr.
Brr. Brr. Eh.
Brr. Is that good for you?
Can you do it a little louder? Oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it, actually. Okay. And the ferns that grew along the brook on the side of the road were lush and made this a beautiful walk on Sunday afternoons. But now it did not seem beautiful. The brook had shrunk to the merest trickle, and today's drizzle sharpened the outlines of the rusty tin cans, old shoes, and forlorn remnants of a big black umbrella in the bed of the brook. The two girls hurried on. They'd hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. Otherwise, they were not certain.
Bro, I'm gonna switch. Bro, can we stop? Can we stop? Before I'm gonna have to. We're gonna get off. I'm gonna get off the mobile Discord, and I'm gonna
Switch to
and I'm
PC.
gonna no switch to desktop,
Uh-huh.
and it's gonna take a while. So
There he
He
goes.
didn't even stop to say bye. I thought he'd stop to say bye. So the scene was becoming less wonderful and more drab. Oh, funny monkey. Funny monkey left me too. He's supposed to stay. Ah. Hello.
Alan, I clicked on one of the other servers' voice channels by accident and joined them.
Okay.
Okay. Am
So-
I reading or are you reading?
We're waiting for Project. It's gonna take a while.
Oh, okay.
You want to sit and admire the illustrations? I mean, that's what I did when. So this is Peggy, and this is Peggy, and that's Maddie. This is their umbrella.
So they're looking for Wanda Petrovsky to make amends.
Project, are you all set to go? We'll wait for the okay.
Okay.
Okay. The two girls hurried on. They'd hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. Other days, they were not certain they could find Wanda's house. At last, puffing and panting,
Wanda's vision.
they rounded the top of the hill. The first house, that old rickety one, belonged to the old man Svensson. There you go. Funny monkey, if you could be so kind.
Okay. Peggy and Maddie hurried past it, almost on tiptoe. Somebody said once that old man Svensson had shot a man. Others said, nonsense. He's old and good for nothing. Wouldn't hurt a flea. But false or not, the girls breathed more freely.
Breathe in.
But to be fair, he thinks fleas have millions of eyes. He thinks fleas are what. To be fair, Funny Monkey thinks fleas are those things that get onto his that get in
Mosquitoes.
the
It says,
food. He
look on the
thinks-
stream. It says he wouldn't hurt a flea. Look on the stream.
Wait. Hold up. Fuck. It does say flea. Fuck.
Breathed more freely as they rounded the corner. It was too cold and drizzly for old man Svensson to be in his customary chair, tilted against the house, chewing and spitting tobacco juice. Even his dog was nowhere in sight. He had not barked at the girls from whatever he might be. I think that's where Petronski's lives, said Maddie, pointing to the little white house with lots of chicken coops at the end of it. The wisps of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway, like thin, wet kittens. The house of its spare little yard looking shabby.
Wow. Here we are.
Interesting illustration.
Yes. But clean. Looks shabby, but clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress. Her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. There was not a sign of life about the house, except for a yellow cat, half grown. Cats aren't yellow, by the way. um, I suppose it's orangey. Yellow as in golden.
Yeah.
An angelic cat. But no. Moving on. Half grown, crouching on the one small step close to the front of the door. Small step close to the front door. It leaped timidly with a small cry halfway up a tree when the girls came into the yard. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went around to the back yard and knocked there. Still, there was no answer. Wanda, said Peggy. They listened sharply, but only a deep silence pressed against their eardrums. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. Maybe they just went away for a little while, and they haven't really left with their furniture yet, suggested Maddie hopefully. Maddie was beginning to wonder how she could bear with a hard fact that Wanda had actually gone, and she might never be able to make amends.
Well, said Peggy, let's see if the door is open. They cautiously turned the knob of the door. It opened easily, for it was a light thing and looked as though it furnished but frail protection against the cold winds that blew up here in the winter time. The little square room that the door opened into was empty. There was absolutely nothing left in it. Left in the corner of the closet with its door wide open was empty too. Maddie wondered that it held. Maddie wondered what it had held before the Petronskis moved out. She thought of Wanda saying, "Sure, 100 dresses all lined up in the closet." Well, anyway, real and imaginary dresses alike were gone.
The Petronskis were gone, and now how could she and Peggy tell Wanda anything? Maybe the teacher knew where she had moved to. Maybe old man Svensson knew. They might knock his door and ask on the way down. Or the post office might know. If they wrote a letter, Wanda might get it, because the post office might forward it. Feeling very downcast and discouraged, the girls closed the door and started for home. Coming down the road, way off in the distance, through the drizzle, they could see the water of the bay gray and cold.
Do you suppose that was their cat and they forgot her? Asked Peggy. But the cat wasn't anywhere around now, and as the girls turned and bent, they saw her crouching under the dilapidated wooden chair in front of Old Man Svensson's house. So perhaps the cat belonged to him. They lost their courage about knocking on his door and asking him when the Petrovskis had left. And anyway, left in any ways. Goodness, here was no Old Man Svensson himself. Here was Old Man Svensson himself coming up the road. Everything about Svensson was yellow. His house, his cat, his trousers, his drooping mustache, and tangled hair, his hound loping behind him, and the long streams of tobacco juice he expertly shot between his scattered yellow teeth. The two girls drew over to the side of the path as they hurried by. When they were a good way past, they stopped. It's a
Hey,
great
Miss.
illustration.
It is. You really get the
Yeah.
sense of how far apart these girls want to be from Vincent.
Yeah. I didn't notice that.
Guys,
Yeah?
I finally got the zip downloaded.
Good. Does that mean that your internet's all settled down?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Svensson. Piggy. When did the Petronskis move? Old man Svensson turned around, but said nothing. Finally he did answer, but his words were unintelligible, and the two girls turned and ran down the hill as fast as they could. Old man Svensson...
Wait, hold on. How are we 3/4 in?
Because it's a picture book. We're gonna finish the thing. We're gonna finish reading the book. Okay, moving forward. Old man Svensson turned around but said nothing. They ran down the hill as fast as they could. Old man Svensson looked after them for a moment, and then went up the hill, muttering to himself and scratching his head. Funny monkey.
When they were back down on Oliver Street again, the girls stopped running. They still felt desolate, and
Yes.
Maddie wondered if they were going to be unhappy about Wanda and the 100 Dresses forever. Nothing would ever seem good to her again, because just when she was about to enjoy something like going for a hike with Peggy to look for bayberries or sliding down Barsley Hill, she'd bump right smack into the thought that she had made Wanda Petrowski move away.
Well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now. So what can we do now? No. So what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all of the dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. So Peggy is trying to find a way to take credit for the good choice. Project, if you can hear me now, I know your spirit is still with us. I'm going
there
to...
goes Project.
Yes. I'm going to continue reading the book, Project. Hey, Project.
Hey, what's up, Project?
It went down.
Yeah. But don't worry, I won't read the book while you're not here.
Right.
Let's see. Maddie carefully turned this idea over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would have not have to feel so bad. But that night she could not get sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress, and the little house she lived in, and old man Svensson living a few steps away, and she thought the glowing Picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last Maddie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought.
This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. If she had ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she'd speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Wanda, but from now on, she would never make anybody unhappy again. Finally, all tired out, Maddie fell asleep.
The letter to room 13. This is Peggy. This is Maddie. Peggy looking kind of red. Moving on. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter, telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were, and that now they were studying about Winfield Scott in school. You continue reading while I look up Winfield Scott.
Okay. And they asked her if she liked where she was living now, and if she liked her new teacher. And they had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend. They signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing "Please forward" on the envelope. The teacher had not known where Wanda had moved to, so their only hope was the post office knew. The minute they dropped the letter into the mailbox, they both felt happier and more carefree. The stream just went white.
Winfield Scott is a...
Wait, the stream just went white. I can't see the book.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Oop. That's Winfield Scott here. Can you see it now? All good?
Yeah.
Winfield Scott is a American general in the Mexican-American War and in the Civil War.
Days passed and there were no answers,
Hold on, you're
but the
reading.
letter did not come back, so maybe Wanda had received it.
Okay. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. And Maddie remembered the way she hitched her left shoulder up as she walked off to school alone, and how the girls always said, "Why does her dress hang funny like that? And why does she wear those queer high-laced shoes?" They knew she didn't have any mother, but they hadn't thought about it. They hadn't thought she had to do her own washing and ironing. She only had one dress, and she might have had to wash and iron it overnight. Maybe sometimes it wasn't dry when it was time to put it on in the morning, but it was always clean. Several weeks went by, and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Wanda, defending her from nope, nope, from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with how many dresses you got, before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way